Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Hey bookworms, welcome back to Bookcast. You know that feeling like you're drowning in to-dos, constantly busy, always checking things off, but never really making progress on the stuff that actually matters?
Oh, yeah.
It's like a hamster wheel of busy work.
Absolutely.
Well, today we're diving into Automate Your Busy Work by Aytekin. The next 10 minutes, we're going to uncover some serious strategies to break free from that soul-crushing cycle. Escape that trap.
It is a trap, isn't it? What's fascinating is how many of us fall into it, We confuse activity with productivity.
Right.
Caught up in this whirlwind of tasks and never stopping to ask, are these tasks actually getting me closer to my goals?
It's like we get a little dopamine hit from checking each item off the list, even if it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things.
It's a false sense of accomplishment.
Totally.
But here's the thing, all this busy work, it actually has some serious downsides.
And I bet our viewers have felt them firsthand.
Absolutely. One major problem is that all this switching between small, unimportant tasks, well, it just fragments our attention.
Yeah.
Like, imagine trying to read a book while juggling.
Oh, man.
You can't fully focus on either, right? You end up dropping the ball, or, in this case, losing your train of thought.
Ugh. I can definitely relate to that feeling. And that scattered focus, well, it leads to another problem, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That false sense of productivity we were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Our to-do list might be getting shorter, but are we actually moving the needle on the stuff that matters?
Exactly. It's an illusion of progress.
Right.
Not the real deal. And then there's the issue of errors.
Ooh, yeah.
When we're tired, distracted, constantly switching gears, well, we're just way more likely to make mistakes, even on those seemingly simple tasks.
Right.
Let's be honest, a small error like a typo in an important email can have huge consequences.
Tell me about it. So we've established that all this busy work is holding us back, but is there a way out?
That's where automation comes in, and this is where Automate Your Busy Work really gets exciting.
Okay.
Tank doesn't just point out the problems, he offers a solution. He argues that by strategically automating those repetitive, soul-sucking tasks, well, we can actually boost our productivity and, more importantly, reclaim our time and mental energy.
Okay, now we're talking. So it's not about becoming a robot. It's about using technology to free ourselves from the robotic tasks that are holding us hostage. But how does this actually work?
First, let's clear up a common misconception. Automation isn't about replacing humans. It's about augmenting our capabilities.
Okay.
It's like having a tireless assistant, one that handles all those tedious tasks, freeing you up to focus on the work that needs your unique skills and creativity.
So instead of spending hours on, say, data entry, I could be brainstorming new ideas, writing that novel I've always dreamed of, or even just spending more time with my family.
Exactly.
That sounds amazing.
And here's another key point. Machines are often more accurate than humans when it comes to repetitive tasks. Oh yeah, they don't get tired, they don't make typos, and they can process information so much faster.
So automation not only frees up our time, but could actually reduce errors and improve the quality of our work.
Precisely. And here's something else. A lot of these automation tools offer data-driven insights.
Interesting.
These can help us identify patterns and bottlenecks in our workflows, which leads to even greater efficiency.
So it's like having a consultant analyze your work habits, pointing out ways to improve.
You got it.
So it's not just about doing things, it's about doing them better. And the ultimate payoff, increased job satisfaction.
Right.
By automating the busy work, we can finally focus on the work that really matters to us.
The work that makes us feel challenged, engaged, and fulfilled.
Exactly.
So now that we see how liberating this could be, how do we actually get there?
Right.
Well, Tank lays out a really clear, actionable roadmap in Automate Your Busy Work.
Okay.
It's a 5-step process, and it all starts with identifying the right tasks to automate.
So not all tasks are created equal when it comes to automation.
Exactly.
Okay.
You need to be strategic about it.
Right.
Don't just try to automate everything. You could actually create more chaos than efficiency that way.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Instead, Tank suggests you spend a week or two tracking your daily activities.
Okay.
Pay attention to the tasks that feel, well, repetitive, time-consuming,
Yeah.
just plain tedious. Those are your prime candidates for automation.
Okay, I'm with you. So things like copying and pasting data between spreadsheets,
Yeah.
scheduling endless meetings back and forth,
Uh-huh.
responding to the same emails over and over again.
Precisely. Those are the soul-sucking tasks we're talking about.
Right, those are the ones.
But here's where it gets interesting. Before you even think about specific tools,
Yeah.
you got to understand how those individual tasks fit into larger processes. It's like zooming out to see the whole picture.
So we're not just automating tasks in isolation. we're optimizing entire workflows.
Exactly. And by understanding how those tasks are interconnected, you can identify, like those hidden inefficiencies.
Right.
And avoid those unintended consequences.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
Like, imagine you're automating a reporting task, but you haven't really thought about how that's going to affect the data collection process upstream.
Oh, yeah.
You could end up creating a bigger mess.
It's like that domino effect, right? One change can impact the whole system.
Totally.
So how do we avoid creating those kinds of chain reactions?
Well, that leads us to Tank's third step, redesigning your processes for efficiency.
Okay.
And before you even think about specific automation tools,
Right.
streamline the process itself.
Okay.
It's like decluttering your workspace before you start organizing,
So it's like spring cleaning for our workflows.
Exactly. And Tank suggests asking yourself 4 key questions during this process.
Okay, I'm listening.
First, are there any steps that are redundant, unnecessary? Can you eliminate them altogether?
Makes sense.
Second, can you simplify specific steps or interactions? Like maybe you can create a central dashboard instead of juggling all these different platforms.
Right.
Third, can you standardize the process? Create rules to handle different scenarios.
Okay.
This brings consistency and reduces errors. And finally, how can you build flexibility into the system so it can adapt to changing needs?
Wow. So much to think about.
Yeah.
I'm already seeing how thoughtful planning upfront can prevent headaches down the road. Okay, so we've identified the right tasks, zoomed out to see the big picture, and streamlined our processes. Now it's time to bring in the tech, right?
That's right. Step 4 is all about choosing and implementing the right automation tools for the job.
Okay.
And Tank has some really practical advice here. First, start small. Don't try to automate your entire life at once.
Right.
Pick one simple process, get comfortable with the tools.
Okay.
Then you can gradually expand from there.
That sounds much less intimidating than a complete automation overhaul. But with so many tools out there, where do we even start?
Well, Tank actually recommends starting by exploring the resources you already have.
Okay.
Many common tools, like your email client or project management system, they already have built-in automation features.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, you might be surprised what you can do without spending a dime on new software.
So before we go on a software shopping spree, we should see what's already in our toolbox.
Absolutely.
Okay. But what if we need something more specialized?
Well, then it's time to explore those dedicated automation tools.
Okay.
There are a ton of options out there. You have those simple platforms like Zapier or IFTTT.
Right.
And then more complex, enterprise-level solutions.
Gotcha. So, okay, we've chosen our tool. We're ready to automate. Can we just, flip a switch and be done with it?
Not quite.
No.
Implementation is crucial.
Right.
And Tank really stresses the importance of careful testing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Don't just blindly trust the technology.
Right.
Run those automated processes in parallel with your manual processes for a while, just to make sure everything's working correctly,
Like a test drive before we fully commit.
Exactly. Yeah.
But once we've got everything up and running, can we finally relax?
Well, not so fast.
Okay.
That brings us to Tank's 5th and final step, ongoing monitoring and refinement.
Wait, so even after we've automated our tasks, we still need to keep an eye on things.
Absolutely. Even the smartest systems need a little human touch now and then.
Okay.
As your work changes, those automations, they need to adapt too.
Gotcha.
So Tank recommends regularly reviewing those automated processes.
Okay.
Get feedback from your team,
Right.
tweak things as needed.
So it's like having a robot assistant.
Right.
Right. You still got to give it instructions and make sure it's doing its job.
Exactly. And speaking of doing the job, you need clear metrics to know if your automation is actually saving you time, making you more efficient.
Yeah, for sure.
And don't be afraid to experiment.
Okay.
What works for one person might not work for another. The key is to keep learning,
Yeah.
and improving your system.
This has been eye-opening. I think a lot of us, myself included, had this image of automation as this big, complex thing.
It can seem that way.
But Tank makes it feel so approachable, manageable.
It really is. And the payoff is huge. Just imagine what you could achieve with even an extra hour or two each day.
Oh, man.
What projects are you putting off because you don't have time?
Right.
Maybe it's finally launching that side hustle.
Yeah.
Finishing that novel you've been dreaming of.
Right.
Or just having more time for, family and friends.
It's like all those tasks that used to drain our energy are suddenly taken care of.
Yeah.
We're free to focus on the things that actually matter.
Exactly.
I'm getting excited just thinking about it.
That's the real magic of automation,
Yeah.
It's not about replacing human ingenuity.
Right.
It's about amplifying it.
I love that.
We take care of those robotic tasks so we can be more human. Think creatively, solve problems, contribute our talents to the world.
Absolutely. Of course, we've only just scratched the surface of what Aytekin Tank covers in Automate Your Busywork.
Yeah.
If you're ready to dive deep, reclaim your time and energy, I highly recommend checking out the book.
Absolutely.
Tons of practical advice, step-by-step guides, even specific tools to get you started. We've included a link in the description below.
Check it out. And remember, automation's a journey, not a destination.
Right.
Start small. Experiment.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to make adjustments along the way.
I like it.
The more you automate, the more you'll discover what works best for you, for your unique workflow.
Absolutely. And now we want to hear from you, bookworms. Have you experimented with automation in your work? What are your biggest wins? What challenges have you faced? Share your experiences in the comments below. And if you found this deep dive helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and share it with your friends who might be struggling with the Busywork blues. Until next time, happy automating.